He's dead. They found him at the aquarium, drowned. What do you mean? Dead? How could that... Shu wobbles, feeling as if the ground's just crumbled from underneath him. That dream I had, why didn't I... The panicked voices around him are drowned out by Shu's worst fears manifesting. Again, Shu? We passed out again. We need to stop passing out. I mean, we're losing so much by doing that. Shu opens his eyes sting as bright light floods his vision, and he quickly realizes that he's in his own room lying on his bed. Huh, wasn't I downstairs? What happened? You blacked out, so I carried you here. Sorry. Natsume just shakes his head, smiling sadly. Are you alright? Shu sighs, fighting back tears. How the hell can things be alright? Yukinari's dead. He's dead. Surely you don't have to refer to him as Hosokawa-senpai. Really? Why did this happen? I'm sorry, that was callous of me. Oh crap, he looks hurt. Apologise. Sorry, I didn't mean to lash out at you like that. I know you're just worried about me. I just don't know how to feel about all this. No, it's a lot to process for me as well. Still smiling. Still slightly like a maniac. Natsume? Is this my fault? I should have been more careful. I should have listened to Kisuke. This isn't a game. I even had that dream. I should have known something was off. No, being negative isn't going to do anything. I need to think. Shu pulls his head up and looks around, but Chiaki's nowhere to be seen. As if anticipating Shu's question, Natsume speaks up. Chiaki and Masaharu are trying to get hold of Yukinari's family right now. He didn't have their contact information in the things he was carrying, so Natsume trails off. What's going to happen now? Well, the police are looking into it, so we can't do anything but wait, I guess. Shu wasn't talking about that, but of course Natsume would have no way of knowing. The aquarium's probably going to be closed off after this. How am I going to save him? Anything he had with him is probably locked up as evidence now. We could just not accept that the future's going to be changed. No. No, me neither. That's just not going to fly at all, is it? Natsume leaves after Shu assures him that he's okay, even though he's anything but. The entire night, Shu stares at the ceiling, unable to sleep. He's afraid to close his eyes and dream of water again. Don't be water, don't be water, don't be water, don't be water. I mean, technically that isn't water. I'll tell you what. I'm a sucker for just anything to do with water and clouds. It just looks really good. New message. Is it... Kisuke, your friend Yukinari was a victim of the future killer. Do your best to save him, but be careful. I never formed a bond with Yukinari at all. We pissed around with his pen once, you know? Like... the day following Yukinari's death, Shu feels like he's living in a haze. You have the power to change it. You shouldn't just let it go by. That's even more stuff for your brain to process afterwards. Like, you can be... like, reckless and just charge in. It's what stealth mode exists for. This is my third time seeing a dead body belonging to someone I know. I knew what I was getting myself into when I took the time machine, but damn it never gets any easier. Shu clenches his jaw tightly and shut in frustration over his current powerlessness. Solutions aren't immediately presenting themselves to him. Unlike with Masaharu or Chiaki, I don't know Yukinari that well. I never could get what he was thinking in that head of his, so I've got no idea where to even start. He can't help but laugh bitterly. Happy birthday to me. Wow, is no one going to wish me a happy birthday? How evil. The police seem to be having problems as well. Even after searching the aquarium multiple times, they cannot seem to muster up any evidence of foul play. Despite pleas and possible bribery attempts from the Yukinari family... Oh, no, that actually... Sorry, I've been trained where Hosokawa ends up, I always have to say Yukinari instead. From the Hosokawa family, Yukinari's death is eventually ruled a suicide. I mean... That's a very horrible way to go. Drowning? I want to commit suicide. What's the most arduous way I can go out? It feels like your lungs are on fire. That's like the worst. Shudder, shudder, shudder. Yukinari's death is event, The media runs with this, and sensationalist headlines such as Young Hosokawa's scion commits suicide due to mounting family pressures are plastered all over TV and print news outlets. The whole thing becomes the latest hot topic, everyone eager to come up with ideas for how Yukinari was able to drown himself in the aquarium tank. I'm still suspicious of Kyosuke. I don't know how he knows about the murders happening despite it only being in the future. Just a thought. The whole thing just makes me sick. It's messed up that people are trying to profit off of someone else's death. After a while, Shu shuts off the common room TV and returns to his room. His body feels heavy and he wants to rest, but somehow sleep just won't come. Even now, he can hear the sound of running water, bubbles floating to the surface. When Shu closes his eyes, the vivid memories of the corpses he's seen flood his brain. Fear grips his heart like a vice that's steadily tightening. I can't sleep. No matter how exhausted I feel, I'm not actually physically tired enough to sleep. I wish I could just stop remembering. Shu tosses and turns for what feels like hours before finally passing out due to sheer exhaustion. So that's 2 days, I think. The next school day flashes by before Shu is aware of it, even despite it being exam next week. Not even next week, this week. The final exams vanish into the recesses of his mind as if they never occurred at all. Shu has too much on his mind to care about integrals or Oda Nobunaga. Intending to go out onto a walk and think about things, he stops at the lockers to tell Masaharu that he won't be walking back to the dorms with them. Guess I'm going home alone then. Maybe I could stop by the bookstore. Wait, alone? Isn't Natsume going with you? Masaharu shrugs. He said something this morning that he had something to do, so don't wait up for him. Oh. Shu feels a little guilty about ditching his brother, but his worries are hardly things he can talk to Masaharu about. Well, see you later. Masaharu gives a slight wave of his hand to acknowledge Shu's words, and then the younger boy quietly leaves the school for the day. After going back to the dorms to change clothes and freshen up, Shu goes on a long walk without a specific destination in mind. It's nice just getting some fresh air sometimes. It makes me feel like I'm close to thinking of an idea. Go to the aquarium. Ooh, this is nice. This is very nice. After playing Backstage Pass for so long, this just looks so fucking beautiful in comparison. I mean, look, there's detail. There's shit that's been drawn there. It's just so nice. He lingers in the park for a while, but there are too many people there making too much noise. He soon wanders elsewhere. Are there too many people? Somehow I always find myself coming back here, maybe since this is where everything started and where I found Masaharu and Chiaki. As usual, Yukinari is so unpredictable that even he breaks the location pattern. Plenty of people are walking back and forth, but the area itself is fairly quiet. Shu walks over to the side of the path and leans over to look at the water steaming below. Streaming. Steaming wouldn't make sense. Less than a year ago, he wouldn't have cared much for scenery or quiet, but lately he's finding that he appreciates those things more. This is turning out to be pretty cliche, huh? I'm thinking about and doing things I never thought I would. Where are we? Oh, okay, someone put a paper boat down the stream with words I don't understand inside. Just as he's starting to collect his thoughts and relax, Shu notices something floating downstream. If it were just a piece of paper, he wouldn't have taken note, but the shape... Is that a boat? The heck? Yeah, it's a paper... Shu walks across the bridge and down the stone banks of the river to take a closer look. A line of folded paper boats trails down the river, sinking into the water at the end where each boat is too waterlogged to stay afloat. On an impulse, Shu snatches one of the boats from the water, and as he turns it around in his hands and inspects it, he notices something written on the side of the paper. Alright, what is it? Where is Yukinari? A message, maybe? Shu unfolds the paper boat curiously. Fallen sick on a journey, on dreams I run wild, over a withered moor. Written on the paper is a famous Basho haiku that's so common that even Shu recognizes it almost immediately. The famous Basho haiku. Who doesn't know that, really? Yeah. God, you better feel pretty silly if you don't know that. No idea. Never Never fucking heard of it before. Anyone else? Yeah. I bet you're feeling pretty dumb now. More than that, he'd know that sleepy scrawl anywhere. Natsume? Shu's eyes follow the boats to their source upstream. On the other side of the bridge is someone he knows all too well. Natsume? His voice is too soft for Natsume to hear. Shu's older brother continues folding paper boats and dropping them into the water with a determined expression. After folding the boat into a compact shape to fit into his pocket, Shu walks along the banks to the other side of the bridge. Natsume looks up at Shu, but for a few moments it seems like he's looking through him instead. There's a quizzical, almost curious look on Natsume's face before he looks away. Natsume? To Shu's surprise, Natsume jumps at the sound of his voice. I'm telling you, man, he can fucking see people who are invisible. This isn't the first time he's just looked at us, but pretended we weren't there. I'm telling you, man, he can do it. Huh? Oh, I didn't realise you were there. Really? But you looked right at me. Did I? Well, never mind that. Did you need something? This has fucking happened before. This has totally fucking happened. He knows. He fucking knows. No, not really. I wanted to talk to you. You look really serious. Sad even. Oh, I'm fine. I'm just thinking about some things. Doesn't seem that way to me. Natsume doesn't volunteer any information. He starts walking leisurely down the riverbank and Shu is compelled to follow silently behind him. Shu has to take twice as many steps as his brother to keep up and curses his brother's height and long legs as he does so. What are you doing here anyway? Natsume finally speaks up after they walk silently for a while. No, just walking around, I guess, getting some exercise. That's unlike you. Is something on it? I've told you, I've changed! Christ doesn't believe me. I don't believe him, but he doesn't believe me. Is something on your mind? Shu realizes belatedly that Natsume has successfully diverted the topic from himself. He always does this. Natsume never wants to talk about himself or how he really feels about anything. He didn't divert, did he? So much as he just went completely quiet. Just want to point that out. Natsume, I'm not stupid. Stop trying to change the subject. You wouldn't look that depressed over nothing. I know you. Natsume looks over his shoulder at Shu, but his expression is muted and impossible to read. Do you? Yes! An awkward silence descends and Shu thinks on that as they walk along the bank. How well do I know Natsume, really? I looked up to him when I was a kid after Fuyuka died. I wanted to hate him. I wanted someone to blame, but I just couldn't. And now I admire him, care about him. Both of these are good options, none of which I know are the real ones. It's gotta be care, hasn't it? Surely! Care. I just want Natsume to be happy. I spent the last couple of years being super self-absorbed, but I want to do something for Natsume for a change now. If he won't let me, then what am I supposed to do? As if sensing the inner turmoil of the person behind him, Natsume stops and turns around. Shu's so immersed in his thoughts that he doesn't notice and walks right into his brother. Ow! They've reached the bridge again. It casts a shadow over both of them. Somehow Shu can't see his brother's face well with all that cloud cover. The air feels icy cold and Shu's filled with a sense of foreboding. Hey, Shu, what are you thinking about? Nothing. Stuff. So is it nothing or is it stuff? Come on, I'm just getting bored because you're not saying anything. What do you want to talk about then? I know, tell me about your day. Oh no, you don't. I came over here because I wanted to see what was up with you. Why are you being so evasive? I already told you that there's nothing for me to say. Why are you pushing it so much lately? Since when do you care? Well, I do care about you, Natsume. I always have. You really think that I don't? Okay. This episode, considering the last one, was probably a bit short, so we can't just end it here. We have to choose one of them. We could keep... My number one rule in visual novels is don't lie, don't let anyone get away. If you do that, you will always get the bad ending. Last time he looked annoyed, we left it. We were curious. Let's keep pressing the issue, and if that doesn't go well... we'll save it before we do that. Right click. We'll keep pressing the issue, and if that goes poorly, we'll just let it go. I don't think we should let it go, though. For once, I want Natsume to speak his mind. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that if I let it go now, he'll never tell me what he really feels. what he's really going through. Is that why you're depressed? Because you think I don't care about you? No chance. No, I didn't really mean that. Anyway, I'm not depressed. Is it something at school? Maybe you're having trouble with a girlfriend? Oh, miles off the mark! I mean, Miles, you're on opposite sides of the earth! No. Wait, do you even have a girlfriend? I can tell you're depressed about something, so just spit it out already. He's angry at me. That is not the face of someone who looks happy. Shut the fuck up. Shu feels the wind get knocked out of him as Natsume roughly shoves him against the stone wall before he even has a moment to react. There's so little distance between them and the river that Shu's afraid to move and accidentally knock Natsume into the water. Scarier than that, however, is the look in his brother's eyes. My whole life I've never seen Natsume make this expression. Hey, why is it quiet all of a sudden? I thought you wanted to talk to me. Don't make me laugh, Shu. You seriously want to play hero all of a sudden? You're not satisfied with your selfishness up until now? Would it make you feel better if I tell you about my problems? Will that make you feel satisfied? What part of leave me alone don't you understand? For just a moment, Natsume's voice returns to the more gentle tone that Shu's used to. But all too soon, Natsume is back to being the bitter stranger Shu doesn't know. Maybe you won't get it if I'm too subtle, too polite. I'm sorry I haven't been clear enough for you. Leave me the fuck alone. Stop trying to poke your nose into my business out of a half-assed feeling of obligation or so-called brotherly love. Natsume laughs after saying that, but it sounds rough and spiteful. Suddenly, Natsume freezes in place and his hands pressed against Shu's chest start to shake. His fierce expression vanishes, replaced by one of panic. I'm sorry, I don't... Natsume steps back and after staring down at his hands for a few moments, as if even he can't believe what he just did, he puts his face in his hands and takes a few deep but laboured breaths. Look, as long as I take care of you, that's enough, isn't it? I really don't mind it. I'm happy being your bigger brother, with things staying the way they are. Why do you have to ask for more than that? You never cared before, and you don't have to from now on. Don't think about my problems. As far as you should be concerned, I don't have any. They're trivial. Natsume, I didn't mean to... Are you? Natsume cuts Shu off before he can say anything else. I just don't want you to worry about me, Shu. I'm not... It's not worth it. I'm fine. Really. Natsume doesn't answer his brother's call. Staggering a bit, he walks away in a daze. There's a heavy weight where Shu's heart is supposed to be, one that only seems to feel heavier and heavier with each step Natsume takes away from him. I think we done fucked up. All this time, I really didn't know Natsume at all, did I? Yeah. That looked bad. I'll tell you what, leave it up for a vote. Do we go back and leave it alone? Or do we leave it as is? Leave it up to a vote. I'll see you guys in the next part.